Hello, this is an overview to Kaizen. This is for beginners. This is an overview, so it has 4 parts: Kaizen overview, 5S, Muda, and the quality control circle. If you take these courses and be evaluated, get tested, and you can be certified in Impact Consultancy Service PLC. My name is Taganya Mulla. I am from Impact Consulting Service PLC, one of the founders, and I have MSc in Environment and Climate Change Management, as well as I am a Senior Kaizen Consultant. So take these courses and know what Kaizen is, as well as use it. It is important for your life also. It's important for any business, for any highlight. Kaizen, it is a way of eliminating and minimizing wasteful practices from countries, from companies, from business enterprises, and from individual life. So it has developed by Japanese scientists and engineers in Japan, and many countries have adopted it, and they have shown a great result, significant result, because of implementing Kaizen. In Ethiopia, there has been a trial to implement Kaizen, but most of the time, many Ethiopians do not know what Kaizen is. They name it. Many of individuals, including journalists and government officials, do not know it. They don't know it very well. They doesn't understand. Kaizen means the 3 pillars. Knowing the 3 pillars is philosophies, as tools, and it is systems. So unless understanding its philosophy and believing on it, there will not be Kaizen implementation. So these 3 pillars are inseparable. They should be implemented all together. They are the pillars. If one pillar is missed, there will not be Kaizen. So we should have to understand Kaizen very well. Most of the journalists inclined it to cleaning activity, some cleaning activity. It is beyond, but Kaizen is very, very big science, big philosophy. So let us understand it well and implement in our country, implement in our life, daily lives, and we will lead a quality life, and we will create an organizational culture, important standardized organizational culture, and waste-free country. Africa needs Kaizen, verily. Not only Ethiopia, all Africa needs Kaizen, because in Africa, many wasteful practice in life, in companies, in the country, at a big project level, there is always wastage. Wastage of finance, wastage of time, wastage of money, wastage of individuals, population, and also many wastage. Contents are introduction. 1, change. We will see an overview for change, and we will define Kaizen, what Kaizen means, Kaizen pillars, guiding principles of Kaizen, and why Kaizen is necessary. These are the Kaizen overview part. So Kaizen in general, it is a change management philosophy. It is a way of life, wastage-free life. That means wastage-free company. It may be an individual or an enterprise. A system for organizational culture, creating an organizational culture, a tool for quality and productivity improvement, as well as it is a tool for minimizing cost through eliminating waste, the so-called Muda in Japanese word, a way to attain punctual delivery time, as well as it is a way of attaining great results through less effort, good efficiency, and cumulative of small change. It is a way to adapting to any external and internal change permanently. It is a participatory approach to change, and Kaizen is a way to achieve quality conformity checks through process. So it is very important to change management philosophy, as well as it is tools. We will see it, the 3 pillars. So what does change mean? So overview change. Change is an alteration. Change is a transformation from one state to another condition. There has been a change throughout time, as long as the earth is survival is started. So hunting and gathering was first lives of people, and then transform it to preparing equipment from stones, and that was a Stone Age, the so-called Stone Age, and then they transferred to hunting and gathering also continued, and cooking started, and then they started agricultural transformation. Agriculture was found about 40,000 before Christ, and they came to industrialization. We came up now, industrial revolution was there, and now we are on the stage of nanotechnology, robotics technology. We reached now the so-called information technology age, IT age. So it is nanotechnology and it is robotics. To see the evolution of technology, it has been going through different ages. The first was as categorized before now, the Stone Age, as we see now, Bronze Age, and the so-called, it was long-lasting. Every change was in thousands of years, but now it is coming rapidly after the Renaissance age, after the Middle Age. That means after the Renaissance, 1300 BC, AC. It has been going rapidly. Change has been facilitated very rapidly. So we reached now on the information technology age. So things have been changed, and also there have been in genetical formatting, genetical engineering, and re-engineering has been trying out to elevate human life, to make it survival forever. And the so-called RAD is coming now. Revolution against aging and death is the last technological scientific researches have been going on, undertaken in the European countries. So the technology has been going rapidly, we can say. There are three constraints in life: change, choice, and principles. So when we see the dictionary meaning of change is act of process or result of altering or modifying, and the replacing of the wanting for another, substitution. It is transformation or transition from one state to another condition. That is core idea. Change is the alteration, also it is the alteration or transformation of individuals, groups, organizations undergo in response to internal and external factors. Change is inevitable because there are internal and external factors, and also to make the world better, there's always change. Whether we need it or not, change is inevitable. Organizational change refers to the moment of an organism away from its present state toward some desired future state to increase its effectiveness. That is Brom's definition. So there is a bridge, present to future, how we can go. That's the tool, the philosophy, the way we adapt to change, the stage, the process of transforming from one another to, and then the next future is the change we call now. So change is from birth to death, there is always change. Change is inevitable, as we say. Unless you change the process, why would you expect the results to change? It's a question. So let us see when change, as per the psychologist Kurt Lewin, in any change process there are two opposing forces. He studied for many years. Change catalysts and change blockers. The two groups will be occurred whenever there is change, observable change. These two groups will be come to create a balance. Those who facilitate change will be called as change catalysts, and those who are blockers, change resistance, are called change blockers. So this is a balance. A driving force and the resisting force will be occurred, and in the middle, interaction management is important. So when these forces are driving forces, restraining forces, and the role of change manager is the interaction between those two forces. So interaction management is very important to continue to bring any change. So the balance will be like this: the catalysts and the blockers will be faced together, and the balance will be created. So to bring a change, the catalysts group should be much higher than the blockers. So we should have to check it to create a change. So when we see the change analysis in detail, the two groups will be fall into 6 subgroups. That is the innovators, 2.5%. This is the study of European and American countries. So when we go this research in other developed and underdeveloped nations, it will the figures will be changed, and as you've seen it, the 50% 1 up to 3 is change followers and catalysts. We can categorize into change catalysts, and 4, 5, 6 will be categorized into change blockers. But the fourth one is late adapters, because there are 34%. So 84% will bring a change, a big change, a rapid change. So the resistance and non-adapters will be very small. It was 15%. So in many countries, in underdeveloped countries, the difficulty is here. Most of the workers, or most of the individuals, the society is more over change blockers. So the figure will be changed. So we should have to work on it. This is how we go through. So when we enter into a change, status of change, we will see current state, transition state, and future state. So most of the time, employees generally prefer the current state because they adapt it. The transition state creates stress and anxiety on some people, some workers. The future state is unknown to the employee. So it's also applicable for our life. So how people react to change, we will see in pictures. So some others will be angry, some others dispute, some others are neutral. So the very difficult one is being neutral is not good for change. That's the very difficult part. The rest will be come to the change when they angry or dispute. When they react, they will come at last. The blockers group will come late adapters. They will become late adapters, but the facilitators, the innovators are the first primary of change bringers. So why do we resist change? There are many different reasons individuals will bring, and also institutions will form a culture of resisting because of fear of failure, creators of habit, no obvious need, fear of loss of control, concern about support system, and closed-mindedness, unwilling to learn, fears that the new way may not be better, fear of the unknown, fear of personal impact will be some selected reasons, causes for change resistance. But these resistance causes are not much more enough, but we should have to trespass and break through these reasons. So we should have to facilitate change, always a better change. Most of the culture are created in such a way. The experiment showed us it is done on fish by making a jar of water and some food and glass in between the food and the fish, then creating a hole in the middle. Then the fish will see what is there, the food. Then it tries to go by by the mirror, but it is difficult when trying again and again. One time it will get the hole and it goes through. Then repeatedly it is done repeatedly, then the glass is out, as you've seen here, but the fish will go as it is habited. So our habitat, we need to realize our perceived idea is strong always. So because it is tampered again and again, created like a culture, adapted. So we should have to break through these experiences, and always we should have to search for a new thing and creating comfortable way of life, and always being productive. So things are moving quickly. We no longer have the luxury of adapting to change or gradually. And instead of resisting change, we have to develop the habit of welcoming and working with it. It is very, very important. So why Kaizen is important is we will see now. When does it occur? When we see change occurs when we calculate that the cost of making change is greater than the cost of exceeded the benefits. So change is not made. If the costs exceeded benefit, change is not made. If benefits exceeds the costs, change is made. So Lewin's three-phase change theory will show us the three steps. When we implement a change, we should have to select a methodology, a theory we follow. So this is unfreeze, change, and refreeze. This is Lewin's stage. I do not support for Kaizen. Kaizen is very important to follow the ADKAR model because there is an awareness gap. There is a gap on institutional culture. There is a gap in individual's life. So that the ADKAR model is very important. The Lewin's model is not important for this, but it is important for other organizational or any country change reforms, but this is important for Kaizen, the ADKAR model. Awareness creating desire, support, and participating in change, knowledge of how to change, ability to implement change, and reinforcement to sustain change. This is very important, very helpful for Kaizen model. So first of all, we will train Kaizen. To implement Kaizen, we will train and we will see the tools, the ability that means. So